I'm out of acorns, Skyla called. Tag continued his dagger to break up the giant beetle, while Skyla attacked it with her paws and Blaze attacked it with her beak. Every time they knocked a few beetles away, more climbed into place. There are too many, Tag shouted, backing away. Uh-oh, Skyla gulped. Scritch, scratch! More beetles skittered behind the friends. Tag slowly turned around. Crag beetles had climbed on top of one another and formed a second mega beetle. Now there was one mega beetle ahead and one behind. The friends were trapped. Trapped. Chapter 6. Trapped. Long shadows fell on the friends as the mega beetles moved closer. Blaze stamped at her feet. The ground shook and Tag noticed a small hole near Blaze's feet. Look, he said to Skyla. Blaze stamped her feet harder this time and more out of the ground fell away beneath her. Blaze is making a new tunnel, Tag said. Is a way out. Tag, Skyla said, pointing the two mega beetles were closing in on them fast. Everyone stamp your feet, Tag ordered. They stamped as hard as they could, making loud, echoing sounds inside the tunnel. Suddenly the ground gave away. The friends fell down, 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 sliding left and right along the sides of the hidden tunnel. Whee! Skyla called as they slid all the way through and out of the hill, landing with a thump on the soft grass outside. Tag brushed the dirt from his feathers and looked back at the huge hole in the side of the hill. We made it out, he hooted. A few crag beetles had followed them out of the tunnel. The beetles stepped into the daylight hissing, then they scurried back inside. The crag beetles don't like sunlight, Skyla said, just like Thorn's other spies, the tiger bats. They know we're here, though. Tag said, they will tell Thorn where we are. We have to find the Emberstone before he sends the shadow. Oak! Blaze peeped. Tag and Skyla looked around. Everything was as dead on this side of the hill as it had been on the other side. A twisted old oak tree stood in the center of a gray landscape. It was covered in odd-shaped green and brown leaves that Tag had never seen before. Skyla pointed at Tag's sack. Check the stone, she said. Tag looked inside, hoping to see a warm glow, but their piece of the Emberstone was still cold. Maybe we are not close enough, Skyla said. The friends hurried down the hill to the Whispering Oak. They searched in and around the tree for the stone. Blaze looked inside knots and on the lower branches. Skyla searched the base of the tree, collecting fallen acorns as she went, while Tag flew around the higher branches, but there was no sign of the Emberstone. I must be missing something, Tag thought. But what? Chapter 7. The Grumblies. The next piece of the Emberstone has to be here somewhere, Tag said. Blaze hopped around, searching beneath rocks at the base of the tree. Skyla climbed up to search among the higher branches. Tag flew overhead, searching the highest branches. Suddenly something caught Tag's attention. He could hear a low buzzing sound near his ear. He shook his head, but the sound continued. Tag swooped to the ground and hooted at his friends. Skyla scrambled down the tree trunk. Blaze hopped over, tilting her head to one side. The Tag held his wing to his ear. Do you hear that? The friends listened carefully. Tag thought it might just be the breeze blowing the leaves. but the noise grew. It sounded like a whisper on the wind, becoming louder and louder. Skyla's eyes widened. Is the tree talking? She said. The buzzing sound grew louder until Tag could almost make out words. Maybe it is, he said. After all, it is called the Whispering Oak. Tag jumped as a tiny voice shouted right by his ear, Go away! The same thing must have happened to Skyla and Blaze too, because they both jumped at the same time. Who's there? Skyla cried, pulling back on the cord in her slingshot. Tag felt something buzz past in his face to land on a branch. He flew closer to see a small bee sitting on the branch. It was waving one of its legs at him. The branch moved and he saw another bee. Tag couldn't believe he hadn't noticed it before. The tree wasn't covered in leaves after all. It was covered in bees, but these were not normal bees. They were striped dark green and brown, and they had long, sharp stingers. What are you? Tag asked. They might be thorn spies, Skyla whispered. We are not spies, a small bee shouted. We are grumblebees. Now get away from our tree. But, Skyla protested, the grumblebees buzzed louder. One by one, they flew from the branches until the oak tree was bare. They swirled in the air like a green and brown storm cloud. Peep! Blaze called out to get the grumblebees' attention. They only buzzed louder. Careful, Skyla warned. They might sting. As the bees swarmed around Tag's head, he could hear hundreds of tiny voices shouting at the same time. They were all yelling over one another, so the voices didn't make sense. I can't understand what you are saying, Tag shouted at the grumblebees. The grumblebees stopped shouting. They hovered in the air. Then in a single voice so loud that it almost made Tag fall over, they shouted, Go away! Chapter 8. The Bears. Tag, Skyla, and Blaze slowly backed away from the grumblebees. Why are they so angry? Tag wondered. What do we do now? Skyla whispered. As the bees continued to surround him, Tag tried to think of a way to ask the bees about the Ember Stone without making them angrier. Blaze dipped her beak into Tag's sack and pulled out the Ember Stone. She held it high in the air so that the bees could see it. The buzzing stopped. Tag smiled at Blaze. We are searching for a stone that looks like this. Tag told the bees, Have you seen it? One of the bees flew closer, examining the stone. Then it returned to the swarm. The bees buzzed and buzzed. Finally, the small bee flew back to hover in front of Tag. Where did you find that? The grumblebee asked. Blaze found the first piece on Fire Island, Tag said. She's the last firehawk. The bees buzzed loudly when they heard this. We found the second piece in the crystal cavern, Skyla added, and then our two pieces joined together. What do you want with the Amber Stone? The grumble bee asked. We want to use it to stop Thorn and the Shadow from destroying Perodia, Tag said. But we need all the pieces of the Ember Stone so that it is powerful enough to defeat Thorn. We used to have a piece of it, the grumblebee told Tag, but we don't anymore. Tag looked around sadly. If we don't find all the pieces, he thought, we'll never stop Thorn and we'll never save Perodia. land filled with color and light. The bee said we were guarding the stone. Then Thorn sent the shadow and everything turned to dust. The bee went on. We only survived because the light of the amber stone scared the shadow away. Skyla gasped, but if your stone scared Thorn away, when did he steal it? She asked. The Grumblebees shook their heads. He didn't. Tag let out a sigh or belief. So where is it now? He asked. The Grumblebees started to buzz angrily again. The bear stole it, they said. Chapter 9, The Last Honeycomb. Tag frowned. Bears. Yes, the bears tricked us, the small Grumblebee said. We had hidden our piece of the amberstone inside a honeycomb in case Thorn came back for it. The bear said they would protect it, so we passed it to them for safekeeping. But they really just wanted to eat the honeycomb. They love honey, added another Grumblebee. Now they won't give the stone back unless we give them more honeycomb. The bees flew to the whispering oak, where a round beehive sat in the tallest branches. Thanks to Thorn, this hive is all we have left. It holds our very last honeycomb, the small Grumblebee said. We're sorry, but we cannot help you. The bees disappeared inside their hive. We need to find the bears, Tag told his friends. We have to make them give us the stone. Skyla looked at the beehive. Where are the bears? She called. A small Grumblebee flew out and pointed in the direction of the mossy hills that the friends had escaped from. The sun had already set, and the moon was high in the sky. They live in a cave at the very top of that hill, the bee said. Blaze yawned. We should rest here for the night, Tag said. We all talk to the bears in the morning. What about Thorn's spies? Skyla asked. We will keep watch, the Grumblebee said. We all warn you of any danger. When he went back into his hive, leaving the three friends alone in the darkness. Chapter 10, Under Attack. The sun was rising as the three friends made their way up the hill. They walked beneath bare, twisted trees over the dry grass. Just then, Tag felt something hot against his wing. He opened his sack. The amber stone had started to glow purple. It was growing warmer and brighter by the second. Our piece of the stone is glowing, Tag hooted. We're getting closer. Higher and higher they climbed, keeping an eye